Spirit,
You better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
You
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You
activate.
better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hey, hey,
Activate. Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit, activate.
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You
Hold
cannot.
on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
You
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hey, hey,
Activate. Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You
Hold
cannot.
on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Hey. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. Okay. I literally is like over there. Looking for clothes. So, my girl, I love you guys. So we are back. All right. Now I'm being requested elsewhere on other platforms because, you know, we run multiple platforms, girl. It's just what we do. Whatever. So we will be over on Coffee, of course. We will be over there. I love you guys. I love you guys. So we're gonna go over there and be messy. I'm extremely messy. I learned all type of stuff about myself today. I'm just like, oh, I didn't know I was doing all that. I wish me would have told me. Like, some of that stuff sounds fun. So here, flip. So we'll go over to Coffee and discuss the non-mentionables. But I love you guys and welcome back. Welcome back to my show, the Shine Everywhere Show. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Okay? I need you all to hit the like because that's what you're supposed to do. It's free. So I love you guys. So we spoke a little bit about Diddy earlier. Diddy is was hooping and hollering at us in the Instagram post today, and we was trying to figure out who he was talking to. That's it. We were just trying to figure out who the caps was for, because we'd be like, who the you talking to? How you got an attitude with us because you caught? So you get caught up in your mess, but you mad at us like we did it. We didn't do it. So get in the mirror. Get all up in the mirror if you are upset. It's not our fault that you sitting over there losing weight and not from working out, okay? It's not our fault that you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't do none of that stuff, girl. You're mad at us because you can't enjoy smoking pot. Like, what about it? Like, you sitting over there stressed out to the max. You absolutely are. You absolutely are. Every other day, you're giving cardiac. You're giving cardiac. You're giving, oh, this is the big one. Every day, girl. Every day, girl, you're giving, this is the big one. Okay? That you about to go meet up in the sky. Kim! This is the big one. Kim! I'm coming, Kim. So, I get her flip. So, did it take it from your combs? Did it take it from your combs? Is upset because these women keep coming forward with their stories, and he keeps saying that these is money grabs and stuff like this. What do you call a lawsuit? You don't get to sue for time. You know, I want to sue you for the year that you did that to me. Take it back. So yeah, you don't get to sue for time. Okay. So when you sue, it's for compensation. Okay. The act, Diddy, again, take it from your combs, is for lawsuits. The New York Act is for lawsuits. Why do you keep talking about some this is a money grab? Stop breaking the law, asshole. Stop breaking the law. That's all that were. That's all that were. Okay? Okay? You did these things allegedly. That's what they were. And these people, women, that's coming forward in New York, okay? They're coming forward because it's in New York. And what you did to them was in New York. Okay? So why for come Diddy, you acting like somebody in Augusta is suing you, ho? You're getting on my nerves. Why you act like somebody in in Anola, baby, is suing you, even a girl? You mad because a bunch of people from Bed-Stuy want to sue you, a girl? That's what happened. That's where the act is. Why for come you acting like it's people in Chicago filing lawsuits? What are you talking about, Diddy? Money girl? Are you sure? I'm confused. Because a lot of these people state that you did this state to state to state to state to state. You, Sean Diddy Combs, and other artists like you should be petrified of this act being granted in other states. So if Florida decides to do it, or California, you know, places like that, I would be nervous. I would be nervous because then there's going to be stories from those places too. Okay? Yeah. You, Russell, Robert, all of you guys, y'all got something in common. So, girl, please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. So you mad at us because you over there wasting food. You had a chef make you or 2 volcanic burger sliders with lava fries, and then they bring them in the room. You take one bite, you pushing the plate away. Because that guilt over there filling up that predatory belly ears, their player. So yeah, it's not our fault. Stop feeling like if people stop coming forward, you're gonna be able to eat again. No, you can stand to lose a few pounds. You can stand to lose a few pounds. You're a little big in here over there. You're a little rectangularly shaped. You might as well go to jail fit. Absolutely. You might as well get canceled fit. You ain't doing nothing else. Lose some weight. Go ahead. According to the LGBTQ, you're fat. So lose some weight. Heavy, heavy. You got so heavy, baby. So, my girl, yeah, we don't care. We don't care that children. And so, you nocturnal now. You got insomnia. You got sleep apnea. Your breathing been off. Your anxiety is through the roof. It's affecting your children. So it's losing their mother. I don't know. They can handle that. They can handle their daddy being ridiculed. Okay, they lost a mom. That takes a different type of strength, especially at a young age. They'll be okay. They'll be fine. I mean, little piece of allegation. Little piece that everybody's talking about at that school. Little piece that everybody at school hates you, Dad. It's fine. Little piece of they not being invited to none of the birthday parties now. That'd be all right. They went to the one last year. They'll be all right. They're privileged. It's churn out here worried about it. If they parent gonna be able to pay rent next month, they ain't got that worry. They'll be all right. They'll be all right. So yeah, we don't care. We don't care. Diddy, do you expect sympathy from people? Who? Who? You can't ask for empathy after you told people to go walk for a piece of cheesecake that you ain't even want. Let's sympathize with you. You don't possess those traits. So why would I give them to you? Like, yeah, and we'll pass. Diddy, guess what? Diddy, look. Diddy, look at this. You running around the world being basic. Look. You running around the world being basic. Live talking about allegations. Live talking about allegations. Look what Alex posted 3 hours ago. Oh, look, it's his daughter's birthday. The daughter you could never. Oh, look at them over there being a beautiful family with $100 million. Ooh, that $100 million love hug. Ooh, family. Oh, they're celebrating their daughter's 4th birthday. Yeah, she ain't worried about no lawsuit. She ain't over there stressed and depressed. Ooh, she over there in love. Ooh, she over there raising her churn. Ooh, you're mad. Ooh, you're mad this is at the life after FOs. Ooh, you're upset. Diddy, this why you over there? All right, this why you up there mad? Are you over there upset because of this? Somebody where you posted right around the time he posted this picture. You still watching Cassie like a hawk. You better not touch her. You better not touch Alex. You better not touch some churn. Because we're watching them very closely. Absolutely. I got done. I already counted the hairs on their head and all of that, and you better not touch a one. Okay? Anything happening, and we blaming it on you. In fact, you should hire them some security to make sure don't nothing happen to them. So I'm like, yeah, you tried it. So you are mad that they're over here being a beautiful family. Ooh, you're upset. Ooh, you thought you could break her. Ooh, you didn't. Ooh, you thought you were gonna win. You didn't. House on you. College for both kids on you. Whatever Alex wants in life on you. Absolutely. They're sitting over there for over 100 million of your dollars. Ooh, you're pressed. Ooh, you're over there losing money, and they just gained what? 9% of you. We upset. So, yeah. Shout out to Alex, Cassie, and their beautiful family. Okay, Cassie's doing just fine. She absolutely is. Alex is doing just fine. Their children are doing just fine. They're very so much over here in love. Absolutely. And we congratulate them. We are happy for them. Everybody except you, right, Diddy? Ooh, you're upset. Oh my God. Ooh. Ooh, you're upset. This woman is unproblematic. The New York Act said that she could file a lawsuit against you. She did it. That's it. If they didn't file that act, she would have never filed a lawsuit. It would have never happened. Okay? Unless it was retaliatory after she came out with her tell-all book. Then I could see her suing him. But other than that, I don't feel that she had any intention. Diddy, look at what you never had with Kim. Look. Diddy, look. This is what happens when you choose your mate. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Remember how you always used to have to bring her to you or put your arm around her and stuff like that? See how she's just doing it because she wants to? Ooh. Ooh, look at them churns she pushed out that don't belong to you. Look, didn't you want churn with her? Look. Do you want them to look something like that? Do you want my daughters? Mm. Oh, you're pressed. Oh, you're upset. Ooh, cha-ching. Ooh, Cassie did that. She did. She deserves every penny. Mm-hmm. She does. Can't put a price on something like that. Taking somebody through what you took her there, you can't put a price on it. But I'm sure that 100 mil, sure to help her get over a lot of future stress. So yeah, and you're mad. Moving right along. So let's get into this new victim. Victim 400, 300. I mean, victim 4. It feel like 437. Let's get into it. Let's get messy because we get messy. We get messy. So look at this. Ooh, on the neighborhood talk. Ooh, on neighborhood talk. It say, OMG, woman accuses Diddy and 2 other men of gang, R-wording, her when she was 17. Says he made her squeeze his nipples because he couldn't orgasm. Shut your mouth and keep on talking. So, agree. So now allegedly, her being a woman was a problem. Okay. Because he couldn't. So since he couldn't, like make it, since he couldn't make it to the crib, and that's what that were. Since he couldn't make it to the crib, a girl. All right. He allegedly, will play to orgasm. Okay. Now, is this the clip of Mark Curry? Okay, no. So, not only does she have a photograph of her and Diddy in the studio, because this is the young lady or the woman, the Jane Doe, that is coming forward. She also has pictures of from the night that she says that this occurred. So a picture of like the bruises and all of that stuff. Like she has pictures of all of that stuff of it happening, that the night that it happened. So yeah, this isn't a baseless claim, you know, someone just coming forward. That's why I'm like, Diddy, it gives you're mad because there's credibility to what these people, these women are coming forward and saying. It's not you're mad like they keep bringing up this stuff that they're lying about. It's like, no, if she has 30-something-year-old pictures and whatnot, I mean, that's pretty hardcore proof. So she has, you know, I'm just saying, you know, it's a difference between saying I have this scar, you know, today from it versus I have pictures of my body and what I, you know, the injuries that occurred during that's a whole nother can of worms. That's a whole nother, okay, well, whoa. All right. That's enough to, I feel like, for a judge to be like, okay, I'm listening. You know, for a judge to be like, okay, I'm listening, you know, type of situation. And so, again, it's not baseless. It's like I have tangible things to back what I am stating. I'm not just saying these things because I can. And that's how Diddy's treating it. Diddy's treating it like, oh, she's just coming forward with these claims just because. And it's no coincidence that she's included Harvey Pierre, whom that used to be like the head of, you know, well, one of the heads of Bad Boy. Or what was that? What record company was that? Was it Def Jam? I don't know. But I believe, you know, Bad Boy, whatever. So, and he's being sued by a completely separate woman. So it's no coincidence. Like I'm like, this it is lining up. Like it's all aligning. Yeah, Uptown. Thank you, Angelica. Uptown. So it's all lining up. So with it all lining up, meaning these people claims that they're coming forward with, like the assistant with Harvey Pierre, were her suing, you know, up being a part of Bad Boy, and most people that have claims state that there are people in Bad Boy that knew. There were people that were working, assistants, a makeup artist, all type of people that were employed by Bad Boy that saw these things going on, like they saw with their own eyes. Some of them were even involved, like were mistreated or essayed, you know, and whatnot, or harassed while working. So it's like most of them done experienced, you know, these things that we are coming forward with, like Cassie listing Roger Bonds, the ex-head of security of Diddy's and whatnot, and Roger Bond coming forward and stating like, yeah, Cassie's telling the truth. So there are people, because even security, you're hired by Diddy. So, and Diddy, Bad Boys, you're an employee. So these people aren't lying. There's facts backing what they are saying. And she definitely has that too. So we're going to get into that. But yeah, her stating that he, I'm going to just leave that alone for right now. I'm going to just leave that alone for now. We're going to pull up some of the things that are actually in the lawsuit, and then we'll get back to this. I did see 50 Cent responded. Is this his response? Let me see. Yeah, so because they're playing like Rick Ross music and stuff like that. Shout out to Mark Curry. So Mark Curry is stating in this clip that Diddy, back in the day when he would have parties at like the club and other places, that there would be bottles for the male guest pretty much, and then there would be bottles for the women guest. And allegedly the women's bottles, or or selected people that he would have drink out of that, you know, section of liquor, would be to allegedly drug them. That the liquor was spiked with a few different things. And Mark is stating how after those women or people would drink that liquor, how they would be, you know, kind of like wide mouthed, you know, and walking around, you know, kind of like aimlessly, like kind of zombie like, after drinking out of those bottles. He also states that there would be times to where Diddy would be semi-nude or nude, and he would come like to his hotel room or to the room that he's in. There's a suite or room in the home that he's in, and Diddy will open the door as if, you know, it's nothing, you know, that I'm not dressed or that you can see the whole front of me, you know, nude. That's not an issue. Come in, you know. And Mark is like, you know, like any obviously hetero male is gonna wait and say, you know what, I want you to put on some clothes or put on some clothes and I'll come back. You know, type of, they're not just about to just comfortably stand in front of you, and not a lot of gay ones either. Are gonna just stand in front of you nude or semi. It's like, put on some clothes. Like, why don't you? Can you put on some underwear or something? Like, because those type of things you don't want to look at, but you'll still look at. You can't help it. If a woman is standing in front of you and she has on an open robe and nothing under it, you're gonna look. It's gonna happen. You're gonna look down. You know, just in case if anything pop out or something like that, we're nosy. We want to see it. You know, if it pops out, but we're not gonna like make it pop out at all. But if you know, if one of them come out, we're gonna look at it. So yeah, we're looking at it. It's happening. If your hoo-ha out, I'm gonna look at your hoo-ha. If you're standing in front of me, nude or semi-nude, and your you know, your hoo-ha is in front of me, I'm looking at it. I'm gonna look at it, like, is it shaven? Is it not shaven? You know, is it, you know, just as bald as a head? You know, like, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at your hoo-ha. Whatever. Put it away. If a breast pops out, I'm gonna look at the breast. Put it away. So that's it. You can't say like, I'm like harassing you if your boob is out and I'm looking at it. Put it away. You don't get to do that. No, you really don't get to do that. Women, that is not fair. So you cannot literally sit there like, I mean, like, I'm about to like, but only certain people can look. Like, you two, you can't look. Like, no, you don't get to tell me I can't look. Oh my God, officer, he looked. Arrest him. For what? What did I do? Like, I really don't get it. I really don't get it. As long as you don't touch the person, it's fine. It's how I look at it. Whatever. So, I mean, it just is what it is, because that's cheating. No, that's literally cheating. Just put it away and we don't have to worry about it, right? So if Diddy's standing in front of a male woman, doesn't matter who you are, and, you know, this little thing is dangling, you're going to look at it, you know? So, of course, he was testing him. Like, oh, okay. Come on in. And Mike like, no. I'll be back later. Put on some clothes. I'll cut back during people normally dressed hours. Like, you up in here with the dark with a fire in the middle of the floor and all of that. No. So it's, you know, it's a test. It's definitely a test, you know, and gross. So yeah, so he said that he would do that, and then he also said, you know, about the spiked, you know, liquor. You know, he said, you know, this liquor right here would be normal, and then the liquor on this other side, you know, it'd be crazy spiked. So then with these women coming forward saying that they were like, all of them have that in common. Every single last one of them were okay. And he feels like since these women, since the drugs was supposed to make it so that they don't remember, you know, and stuff like that, that I should get away with it because they weren't supposed to remember nothing. Just like the Rick Ross song stated, you know, and he had to come forward and apologize about the lyrics, basically saying that he had intercourse with a woman and she didn't even know because of the liquor that she had drank. I mean, hanging with Diddy, He's speaking facts. He's speaking real life type of situation. So yeah. With these women coming forward, it makes complete sense with them saying that they were. Why would we not believe them? It's like you're like famous for it. It's what you would do, literally. And since the women aren't supposed to remember it, it's truly what it gives. It gives, since they're not supposed to remember, no different than like Jessica Reed and Charlotte. Jessica wasn't supposed to remember. So since she remember, it's like, you wrong for remembering. Like, you wrong. You know, like you shouldn't have remembered. Because what? And it's the same thing with these women. Because they remembered, they're mad. It's like, so you're pissed off at someone from, that's why they call it trauma. Because even in your subconscious, you're in your conscious, you know, type of situation. So you can't, even if you're trying to ignore it or avoid it or act as if it doesn't matter, these images will flash into your head because it's all about opening your eyes. So just because you don't remember it within that moment, certain things can trigger those images, you know, to pop into your brain. And then you'll work like a puzzle to try to figure out, why does this keep, okay, now I remember when I was over there, but you know, so it's gonna take you to one of the pieces, but some people try to avoid it. Some people try to avoid it and they fall to substances and alcohol and, you know, type of other stuff to avoid those memories. They don't want them explained because they don't like what it will equal. They don't like the result of what it will mean if they truly remember, no different than being a child. A lot of things, that's why a lot of hitters try to do things to children because they think they'll forget. They'll get older and they won't remember this. They'll get older and they won't remember me. And it could take a smell of a cigarette, a smell of a food, a TV show being on, a song playing to be enough to pull you right back into it. Like, I know you, you know, like type of, that's all it will take. And some people will go on a journey to heal and figure out what it is so they can, you know, put it to bed. And then you have some people that will ignore it and they will run from it. And there's a lot of women and men that do this. They'll feel like, oh, well, I was so intoxicated, because they'll blame themselves. So a lot of these women didn't necessarily know about the ging and, you know, and stuff like that. You know, a lot of them were probably just thinking that they drank too much. You know, a lot of them. So they would blame themselves and be like, well, if that stuff wouldn't have happened, if I wasn't down there a while and I drank too much, you know, ... you know, and they blame themselves. So they won't even try to figure out the ending image of what happened because they've already come to terms that it's their fault. So instead of looking at the people that actually did it to them and placing the blame where it belongs, they'll just blame themselves. And a lot of these victims have done that. I feel that they have blamed themselves because they look at it like, okay, well, he's too rich, he's too famous, no one will believe me. To say his name is an instant, oh, you're clout chasing, or you just want money, you just want fame, you just want recognition. So it's enough to push a person to feel like, I'm not going to say anything ever, you know? And this is how a person like him has gotten away with it, because he's used this fame, he's used this fortune, he's used his connections, he's used all of those things to scare people. It's a different type of fear having somebody like him be who you're going against, sitting in a courthouse across from him, you know, and what it's different, you know, say you think, oh, he's going to get the best lawyers, he's going to this, he's going to that, to where you just keep pushing so much doubt, so you don't even make it worth it. It's not even worth it. It's out of sight, out of mind. Like, it ain't even worth it, type of situation. So shout out to people like Cassie and these other women that are coming forward, Joy, and others, because I appreciate them not feeling like, because this is the first step, I believe, in proving to yourself it's not your fault, you know, and actually doing something about it, because a lot of people don't. So, and it also helps a lot of other people too, that are going through this stuff, give them the strength to maybe one day do something about it or see what they can do about it. Even if they're just discussing it, it's good. So shout out to Cassie and these other women for that. So let's get into the details of this lawsuit. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. So let's get into the details of some of the things that have been claimed about Diddy. So Sean Combs faces fourth SA lawsuit in less than a month. Okay, now this is crazy. The lawsuit was filed against hip hop mogul Sean Combs on Wednesday, alleging that Combs and others were and SA'd a 17-year-old in 2003. It is the fourth SA lawsuit involving Combs filed in less than a month. The complaint was filed in Manhattan's district court on behalf of an unidentified woman who is referred to in the lawsuit as Jane Doe. According to the lawsuit, she is in 11th grade. Was in 11th grade when she met Harvey Pierre, then president of Combs Bad Boy Entertainment, at a Detroit area lounge 20 years ago. Pierre allegedly told the teenager that he was best friends with Combs before getting the influential producer, who was in New York at the time, on the phone. Okay. The lawsuit claims that Combs persuaded her to take a private jet with Pierre's. Combs persuaded her to take a private jet with Pierre and another person to Combs' New York recording studio. So this happened at the studio. This is why that photograph is surfacing of the young lady at the time in the studio with Diddy on Diddy's lap, because this happened in New York and she was allegedly 17 when this happened. And Diddy allegedly convinced her to leave on a private jet with Harvey Pierre to come to New York to the studio. So this is why this happened in New York. So she's not suing for something that happened in Detroit. It happened in New York, where the New York Adult Act is. Okay. So this is why she's suing. All right. Because it happened there. All right. Just to get that out there before people be like, she's not even from New York. She's not, but it occurred there. Okay. So the crime happened. Okay. So once they arrived there, Combs and Pierre and a third person plied Miss Doe with and alcohol and proceeded to gang R-word them, the teen. The teen. Miss Doe, I'm trying not to say these words. Sorry. The teen girl, the suit alleges. The filing includes pictures taken the night of the alleged assault showing the plaintiff with Combs. So she also has pictures the day she met him when she was in the studio, which is on the Neighborhood Talk and other places, TMZ. The picture is surfacing around, and she also has pictures of her injuries and whatnot of what happened that night to her. So I don't know if it was the following morning she took the pictures, the following day, or if it was the same day, and she took the pictures, but she does have pictures. So I feel like that's very important. Defendants preyed on a vulnerable high school teenager as part of a ex-king scheme, said Douglas Wigdor, an attorney representing the woman. The depravity of these abhorrent acts has not surprisingly scarred our client for life. Okay, he added. Combs via representative shared a statement denying involvement of and accusing his accusers of looking for a quick payday. Combs was called. I'm about reading that. We don't care what Combs has said. We literally don't care. What he said. The embattled producer has been involved in 4 other SA lawsuits over the past several weeks. 3 of those named Combs himself as the alleged assailant. Okay. The first case was filed by his longtime partner, R&B singer Cassie. So not only did that happen, there's more that we need to get into with this lawsuit. I just think it's crazy how he's saying that it's a money grab. How is it a money grab if these people can prove these things? And everyone is not lying on you. Like, you are so innocent, but everybody feels you're lying on you. Diddy and former Bad Boy exec Harvey Pierre facing lawsuit accusing them of and gang R-word. Now, there's more details in this, but before we get into this, there was a male that says certain things about Diddy. And there's this female on YouTube, okay, with one dry album that is not selling, that is due some lithium but will not take it. That is came forward and, blabbered about a person she doesn't even know Diddy, right? But then you have somebody that actually knows Diddy, that people look at as a little loony and whatnot, and everyone ignored what he says. Do y'all not remember this? Okay. Orlando's going to be 10 times more credible to me than that psycho on YouTube with the fade. He says something since he's a male and he's completely ignored. But then you have a psycho that runs around that doesn't even know Diddy. And people, oh, she's right. She's right. She's right. About what? She doesn't even know him. She doesn't know him. She doesn't know Kim Porter. She doesn't know any people. What do you mean she's right? What are you talking about? I find it mighty weird that when Orlando came forward and said this, it was looked at as, oh, he tripping. I'm going to just leave that right there. I'm just saying this is why a lot of males really don't come forward. Because when they do say certain things, they're overlooked. They're overlooked. But then you have somebody like Orlando, whom has been through a lot. He's been through a lot. But just because he's been through a lot does not mean that everything that has come out of his mouth is cap. There's plenty of things that I believe that Orlando said that he's told the truth about. If you think about Orlando started hanging around Diddy at a younger age. He used to hang out with him no different than Justin Bieber, no different than Usher, none of that, right? Think about everybody that's around him that states all of the drugs that he had around, and he had around like literal candy, right? Why wouldn't it have been birthed there? So if Diddy tests people, sometimes when you test people, you literally traumatize them. So a lot of his hurt could come from something he felt like this man did to him. And I think a lot of time he masks other men's names like Will Smith and other names to mask Diddy's, but has outwardly said things about Diddy. Yes, he's outwardly said things and people just ignored it. Oh, he tripping, he crazy. Oh, he on drugs. Oh, he. It's like, okay, or he could be telling the truth. I would say that all the time. I'm like, I just don't think he's expressing it properly, but it doesn't mean he's lying. It doesn't mean that. Like, I don't look at celebrities as superheroes, as they never do. Anybody's capable of anything. Anybody's capable of anything. So, but it doesn't mean Orlando wasn't telling the truth. I just don't think he was expressing the story properly. I think, and then that's a lot of times when people say something of honesty, they realize that they said it, and then they'll do something crazy right after so that people will focus on that instead of focusing on what they just said, because what they actually said is true. But now they want you to zero in, like, he'll say what he said about Diddy, and then he'll say something crazy, like realize that he said that, and then say something crazy like about Bow Wow. Oh, Bow Wow got good pussy. Knowing that's not true. But to get you to focus on that instead of you focusing on what he really just said. Because what he said, he meant. Now I'm going to say something that I don't mean, so then you'll cancel them both out. Instead of just canceling out, deflecting, and canceling, and you cancel out everything, that I'm saying, instead of, So that's why I said he's not well, but if you had a conversation with Orlando while Orlando was well, I'm sure people will be very surprised by his story. Orlando has a powerful story. He absolutely does. He has a powerful story. And if he ever truly lets go and say what happened to him, why, Orlando had a very promising career. He was a great actor. He was amazing. All the way from a child on up. He was great. Everything he did. Major Pain, That's All Right, everything. He was great. He was next up. And then just all of a sudden, it was just like, well, not all of a sudden, it was a buildup. But during that buildup, we didn't see the buildup. We just saw we just kind of saw that we didn't see what he was actually going through within those times. Orlando been doing stuff, like even while he was on That's So Raven and stuff like that, he was already indulging in certain things already. Literally, he was already doing those things. No different than Britney Spears and people from the Mickey Mouse house, the Mickey Mouse Club. They were already doing. A lot of those kids were doing these things outside of Nickelodeon, and then Nickelodeon of Disney, and then coming to Disney and seeing that they are allowing them to do it too. I was like, oh, okay, hey, we're right at home, type of situation. So a lot of these kids have been on these substances and doing things for years, like starts as a kid, sometimes a teenager. They're doing these things, and he was definitely one of those people that started early, but there's reasons behind that. Justin Bieber and a lot of other kids, it's like they get turned out, but it's like, well, who turned them out? Justin Bieber in the club hanging with Diddy, and his drink is completely foamed out. So it's not that he would make sure that only women got those drinks. He made sure that men got them too. He absolutely did. And I think Orlando was partying with him, got a hold of something, and I'm just saying, he has said certain things about Diddy. He has. And he has said something about Will Smith, but it's not anything that he's gone into detail about or has said since. But Diddy, he said multiple times. He said Diddy's name multiple times. So that's why I feel like something is there. I don't know what, because, that would be for Orlando to explain. But something is definitely there. It is. There's something there. I don't know what, but something happened. And Orlando never got over it. That is how I feel. Orlando never got over it. And then it's the false promises. You promise these people certain things, and then when they actually are down and out, when they come to look for you, it's kind of like if you've seen the 5 Heartbeats when Eddie Kane was trying to come back and get into the group, and they were kind of just looking at him like, go home, like type of energy. Like, look, here you go, $2, go home. When they felt like it was a brotherhood, but Eddie Kane did certain things so that he wasn't in the group anymore. He wasn't innocent. He didn't get like the boot for being a great member, and no, he was messing up a lot. But the treatment was kind of harsh, for somebody that they were like kids coming into the game doing this. And I think that that's how Orlando feels when it comes to Diddy. Like YK Osiris, when he went live crying, like, I ain't got nobody, because all of these promises that these people have made them, it's enough to make you boil over. It is enough. When you have nothing, all of these bills is over here piling up. And then every time I talk to you, you promising this, you promising that, we gonna get together, Playboy, we gonna da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And none of this stuff comes true. And these bills are still very so much over here piling up. But you were very convincing, when you can, convinced me to do certain things with and for you. You were very convincing then. But now it's like, I can't even get you on the phone. I can't get any FaceTime with you, or anything like that. Although the last time I seen you, it was a whole nother story. The last time I seen you, I'm in my underwear swimming in your pool. I'm in your suite, for real. When YK was in, what was it, Jamaica, I believe, and he was swimming in that pool. That was Diddy's room. That was Diddy's suite. That was not his suite. That was Diddy. That infinity pool, that did not belong to YK. That belonged to Diddy. Because if it belonged to YK, why wouldn't he have had on some swimming trunks? He wanted to be seen, and he wanted to be in that pool being thirsty. He wanted to be in that pool being thirsty, because that's all it was. He's being thirsty. Wanted to be seen, wanted to make it look like I got it like that. I'm living that life. And got popped. Because, like, that's not your room. Because then he went live again that evening with swimming trunks on with the female that he was there with an actual pool. It wasn't an infinity pool. So why aren't you in the infinity pool anymore? Because that wasn't your room. That was Diddy's hair flip. So it's like, yeah, you popped, and it's no surprise that Diddy took a picture by an infinity pool. Yeah, and was jet skiing by one too. So I'm just like, yeah, that was definitely Diddy's pool that you were in over there in your underwear, swimming in Diddy's pool. No different than Diddy walking up to Meek Mill while Meek Mill got one leg in the pool, one leg out of the pool. Diddy walking to him, calling him daddy, you know, and all of that. It's like, no, if you there, it's a pattern. If you watch him, you know, some is just before the night, and some Diddy keeps around longer. You know, like a Meek Mill, he'll keep them, you know, him around long as, you know. And what's his face? French Montana, same thing. But then when it comes to people like YK, you're a weekend thing. You're not an ongoing, you know, type of thing. That's just what that were. And I think that broke YK's heart. I do. I think it broke his heart. He felt foolish. Like, so I did all of that, and this is what I get in return. I can't even get you on the phone. I can't even get in the same room with you. This is where we at? You got YK in pictures with people like Jay-Z. How do you think he got on those photographs? Or you can Google YK right now. He had pictures with people like Jay-Z. It's not a coincidence that Diddy's at the same party. So yeah, YK got that invite through Diddy. Diddy likes to dangle things in front of people. Look at what I got. Look at what I can do. Look at what I can do for you. Look at why it's beneficial for you to listen to me, for you to do what I want you to do. He would have never been in the same room with Jay-Z if not for Diddy. That would have never happened. Yeah. So that's a life-changing thing. That's a stick with me kid and you'll go far. So then Diddy has him in a compromising situation. If Diddy's requesting that he does something, it's going to be hard to negate it. It's going to be hard to say no. And to get some type of compensation out of it either. Because Diddy's compensation with people like artists and whatnot, because you know they're so thirsty and so easily, you know, influenced to use people and whatnot to try to climb the ladder, that a lot of the payment that he'll do to them is just, again, just the dangling things in front of them. So he doesn't have to pay YK, someone like him, to do anything. His influence, the power that he exudes, is enough for YK to fall innocently into his arms because he's young. Like, he don't know what this world is. Like, what that world is. I mean, they gobbled him up like a vulture. You know, they were to him. He's an easy target type of situation. What do you give the guy that technically has nothing? Nothing. Because they're desperate. They'll take anything, and attention is enough. Attention is not handing somebody something. People are going to pay attention to it or not. It's that simple, one or the other. So having YK sign NDAs and stuff like that prior to requesting him do anything, and making YK feel like he's going to do business deals with him. He's going to have him model for some of his companies. He's going to have him be the brand ambassador, one of the brand ambassadors of his alcohol and Ciroc and De Leon, and you know, all of that, telling them all these pipe dreams. He didn't sign that NDA already, type of situation. Him flying him out, having him do certain things, and you know, he decides to bend and do the things that he wants. When Diddy just tosses him to the side, it's no sweat. You don't have to pay him anything. You know, him flying him out is enough. Like, I don't have to pay him to do anything. My power, he's going to feed off that. I don't even need to. That's why YK felt stupid. You know, why he broke down. You know, because like I did all of that for nothing. Like, I didn't even get no check. That's how thirsty he was. But again, he don't know the game. He know now. But he didn't know the game. You go from being around people like Drake and Jay-Z. He met these people through Diddy. Diddy is who kind of really helped him get put on the map by brushing the right shoulders, you know, and whatnot. Like, Diddy really who put him out there, like who helped him, you know, behind the scenes, you know, kind of pushed him in front of the right people to where he got some good exposure type of situation. And then took it away. It's quick. He did the same thing with Artist on Bad Boy. It's quick as he give it to you, it's the quickest he'll take it away. Type of situation. He likes that, the power. Of like, he didn't have to break up Danity Kane, and he didn't have to do any of that stuff. He didn't have to break up the band, and he didn't have to do none of that. Do y'all not realize that? He liked having the power. He liked having the power. He didn't care nothing about those groups. He ripped them apart on purpose. You go back and watch the Making the Band series, Danity Kane, he literally broke them up on national TV. Fired them, except Don, on national TV. Just to have a power. He wanted to place Don, and because why would that not be awkward? Don had no idea. So Don's sitting there, and then you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. You is too, but Don, it's like, how awkward of a situation are you placing her in? Like, you knew. Why would the other members not feel some type of way towards Don and be like, girl, I don't know, because I don't know. I feel like y'all set us up. I feel like you already knew this going in. You could have told us, blah, blah, blah. And then he started a group to spite them after that. Literally. Put Diddy Dirty Money together to spite them. That was deliberate. Same thing with the band. He ripped them apart on purpose. Deliberately. And then start working with some of the artists that didn't like those artists, like back in the day, like Ness and J Mills and people like that were battle rapping, and whatnot. So did he start working with like some of their ops just to spite them? Just because Ness was still out here making a name for herself and Baps, and they were still making a name for this. That was a problem. Like, he wanted them gone. I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? Put them together just to rip them apart. The bands didn't survive because of Diddy. He did not want them to. He did it. Danity Kane had 2 #1 albums. How do you rip something apart like that? If anything, you sit them down and you make them get it together. Like, okay, look, I don't know what's going on, but we need to figure this out. Because I'm trying to get a 3rd #1 album. Like, he didn't care about none of that stuff. It was a game to him. He didn't. And he made all of the money. All of the money. And he could have done another season of Making a Band and was that successful. But, yeah, he literally did that on national TV. Fired them all. I'm like, why? It's cool that they were getting along. That's normal. Groups don't get along. 1 minute you love a person. Like Aubrey and Andrea, they were inseparable. They went from being inseparable to sit on the opposite sides of the room. They went from being inseparable to sit on the opposite sides of the room. Like, it happens, And then Aubrey and Shannon became close. And, then it was weird. Like, the energies kept switching. But at the same time, that's normal. Like, as you grow, you change. So if Andrea wants to get married and talk about marriage and, another group member thinking the same way, then they may bond now just because, so they may grow closer. If the other one still just want to drink and party, like, yeah, you probably not really going to be feeling her too much. Like, okay, girl, that's where I was. This is where I am in life. So that's normal, for people to part and not be as close as they were. It's understandable. But they didn't need to break up. The problem that they had could have been fixed because it was honestly just a lot of miscommunication is just what it seemed like. Because it's a lot of girls. You got 5 girls, that are all, so you got to keep that communication. Diddy didn't want to keep the communication. He didn't care. He was over it. He was over it. And what he really didn't like about Aubrey is that he felt like Aubrey, because Aubrey was getting other opportunities. People were requesting Aubrey for a lot of other things. Reality shows, magazines, modeling, solo projects. She was like the new it girl, if you will. Aubrey just came out of nowhere. And she was the most popular person in the group, media-wise, at that time, for whom she may have been dating. It was even linked that Aubrey was dating Diddy at one point. So she was the tabloids' like dream, Aubrey. She was constantly, being reported on. But the other girls were more like laid back. Andrea was in a serious relationship. Shannon was married. D Woods, I believe, was dating. So they were all, chill. Aubrey was the firecracker. So, and she didn't mind sticking up to Diddy. Like, she would tell Diddy how she felt. But when they were recording, Diddy did treat her differently. He did. Like, when she would cry and stuff like that, because she wasn't really on tracks and stuff like that, he would. So that's why people was like, are they going together? Do they go together? So, yeah. So, I mean, she was definitely like that girl. Short-lived, but she was definitely that girl. Who knows? Because it was definitely rumored that she was dating him, and that's why she was getting special treatment. But what we didn't know was the deals that she was getting outside of Diddy. She was getting them on her own. We didn't know that. So we had no idea. So because she did like a play, or something, and other stuff too, magazine covers, and all of that stuff. So everybody felt like, oh, Diddy's singling her out. And it wasn't her being singled out. She was just doing the opposite of what she was supposed to be doing. And that was one of Diddy's problems with her, that he wasn't getting all of her money. So, because the side projects that Aubrey was doing, Bad Boy wasn't getting no cut. So when she was doing the play and magazine covers and stuff like that, she was getting all of the coin from it. She was collecting all of the coin. So that was a problem for Diddy, because she was missing like Danity Kane appearances, and all of this, but it wasn't fully explained, because if you go watch the episode, it was, chopped. But listening to the girls' interview after, and all of that, we got to actually like hear, like, I'm like, oh, okay. So that makes sense. So that's why Diddy was like furious with her when they did do that sit down, and why he fired her first, because she was going around missing the appearances, and some of the performances, only 3 girls were showing up to, instead of all of the girls, and D Woods and Aubrey were doing side gigs, but that they weren't making no money with that, because Diddy was stealing everything. So they weren't really making no money. So D Woods was like, bump that. Like, I'm gonna do, what's gonna put some money in my pocket now. They want me to come to this club, and they gonna play music. I'm be in there like, hey, like they want to pay me, like I'm doing it. Like she wanted to make some money. Same thing with Aubrey. Aubrey was doing the same thing. So Diddy was pissed. And when he found out, that's why he had that sit down. Now, he thought they was just missing appearances. When he found out that they was making coin without him, oh, we have a problem now. That's why I called them Ebony and Ivory, D Woods and Aubrey, because he was like, both of y'all sitting over here kikiing and cackling when y'all running around here collecting this money without me. I run y'all. I own the name Danity. Like, that's why he was like, yes, like a pimp. That's why he was like, that's where that energy coming from. Because we didn't see all, so we had no idea. We thinking that they just sitting down and he just coming for him. Because there was really no prelude, no dialogue prior. So we just, and then it was just like, so there was a lot of tension because Diddy was furious and Aubrey was over it and D Woods was over it. So since they didn't want to grovel and, oh, Diddy, you fired. You're fired. Okay, you're fired. Since it's like, wow. He did not have to fire them. It was not necessary. Just let's talk contracts. Is all Diddy had to do. Like, okay, you want to do more? You want to make more? Like, cool. Let's sit down. Let's do that. He didn't want to do none of that. He didn't want to award because he knew that that's what it was going to come down to. And Diddy did not want that to come out of their mouth. He did not, because he's a narcissist. So he did not want them to come out and say, well, we ain't got no money. He did not want them to TLC the situation. So that's why he fired them before they can say anything about the money, because that's what was happening. They was doing gigs that guaranteed them money right away, because with Danity Kane, they weren't collecting no checks. They wasn't making no money. Now, they had all this notoriety. They had a lot of fame, but they were still living the same lives. They still had to live in the same. Andrea, they all had the same life. Shannon, they all had the same life. Like their life didn't like change. Like we just bought a house, or no. No, they weren't making the money. So they was like, please, I'm about to make coin. Now, Shannon and Andrea, they stay loyal. And Dawn, Shannon, Andrea, and Dawn, they stay loyal to Diddy. They didn't do no business outside of Danity Kane. That's why they was the only three showing up to like gigs and stuff like that. It was freaking Frack, who Diddy called Ebony and Ivory, D Woods, and Aubrey, who wasn't showing up. They wasn't showing up to performances and stuff. They're like, we ain't getting no money. Aubrey and D Woods like, we ain't getting paid. What we showing up for? Like, what was it like? They're like, yeah, I'm over here where the coin at. They paying me to come to this club. I'm going to the club. So that's what that word. And so let's get into this article before we get out of here, because this is the only update that I have right now. Until we get the files, and we're gonna read every single last one of them. Now, I bring this up because right here it says they added the New York legislature surely did not extend or expect the Adult Survivors Act to be exploited by scammers, is what Diddy's lawyer is saying. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept these bogus allegations. Okay. Now, I want y'all to know this. The lawsuit that this woman, this Jane Doe, because we have to get over the coffee. The lawsuit that she filed is after the New York Adult Act expired. Okay, so she's filing this after it's expired. So I don't know how far this will go, because I feel like the attorneys are trying to fight it, because she filed it after, because the expiration for the New York Adult Act is up. So this filing that just happened today on Wednesday is after. Yeah, it expired like 2 weeks ago, something like that. 2 weeks ago, something. So I don't know how this is gonna work. Now I want to look it up before I talk about it, because I don't know how it's gonna work. But it has been entered. Now I don't know if the judge has accepted it or not. I don't know if the judge may throw this out. The judge may dismiss it. It may be due to, because that would be a fair argument that the act has expired. And with this happening 10 years ago, I don't know if the judge would be, because it's up to the judge technically, is what I'm thinking, is that it would be up to the judge. If the judge wants to accept it, a judge could easily, and I know his attorneys, Diddy's attorneys, are going to request a dismissal, that it be dismissed. Not a settling or anything with this woman. I think that they are just going to try to get it dismissed because of the expiration. Yes. So this is sticky. This fourth one is a little sticky. I don't know. We'll just have to sit back, wait, and see. I don't know. But I do want to read the in the entire complaint. I wonder how many pages it is. Was this Michigan? Hold on. What? I don't know what that means. They need to extend the act. Yeah. I doubt they will. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We will absolutely see. Yeah. But that's all I have for you right now. On this, everyone, we're about to go over to coffee. If you guys wanted to come and join us over there, the link is dropped in the chat. It's also on the community feed here on YouTube. I love you all. I will keep y'all updated with the story. I will be looking for the transcripts, but in the meantime, we're about to start focusing on the book club because I want to read the book flat out. So I want to do it like in a row. So like maybe 3-4 days in a row, however many days it takes. Because I want to read at least like 4 to 5 chapters alive. So we're gonna start with the book Bling, and then we're gonna be moving into other books. So I want to get that started. But yes, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Oh my God, I love you guys. Until the next show, I'll see y'all on coffee.